Hello everybody, welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. How is everybody? You guys, I'm so excited today because yesterday I took some time to study and watch some great podcasts with Mel Robbins and some neuroscientists and some really great speakers on manifesting, and there was a really profoundly beautiful one that existed that just grabbed me right away. And this woman was talking about, and it reminded me of this, the potential, the promise, it's about to happen, keep going. And this neuroscientist, who is also a psychologist, she went to MIT, simply brilliant, and she loved to study the mind in terms of healing and manifesting and again, holding the promise of a bright, beautiful future. And she talked about magnetic desire, which I absolutely love because this is like a long-term wish and desire. Say you were young and you loved books and they changed your perception of the world and you got excited about your story every night that your parent was going to read to you. So from a very young age, you were like, I want to also write books. I want to tell stories. That's a magnetic desire. You're thinking about it all the time. It's magic to you. It transformed part of your life. So you want to use those abilities to transform others. It can be anything from poetry, jewelry design, being a speaker, teaching, all of those things. I had a magnetic desire. I remember after watching some movies on like World War II, and then I started paying attention more in history class, and I had this magnetic desire to learn a lot about history and cultures, and I just loved it. And I found every time I was near a library or bookstore, I was reading things, and that actually led me to working for many years and managing a bookstore, that type of thing. So think of that. What is your magnetic desire right now? What is your long-term wish and desire? Now, something that's wonderful that we can do with this, and something that I used that they were talking about is, have you ever noticed when you mention, I am going to notice as much as this as possible today? So yesterday I chose white SUVs and beautiful trees because it rhymed, and as I was driving, something interesting happened. Our mind is always primed to protect us, so when we leave it just idling while we're driving in our car instead of priming it to notice things, which then I also had a trigger for that, which was going to be joy and happiness and feeling abundant. So when I saw white SUVs, that reminded me to look at all the beautiful trees. And I have never noticed so many white SUVs or gorgeous trees in my town, and it lifted my spirit. And it showed right away, by pre-programming our mind to notice things, we can notice love, we can notice beautiful animals, we can notice affection, we can notice flowers. Today, for instance, mine is going to be purple flowers and puddles because it rained. So it's amazing that once we start to notice that, we notice more and more. So then we realize my brain really does listen to me when I ask it to notice things instead of idling. Because what happens when we let it idle? It goes into like loss avoidance, which is fear, right? Oh, I don't want to do this or I'll lose this. It starts trying to pay bills in our head. It starts bringing in fear or anxiety because it is made to keep us safe. So when we leave it idling, that's what it's going to look for. But when we give it something to look for and then it finds it, it works as a catalyst to be like, I am training myself and I can really do this. It's amazing. You know, it's like once you give your brain something wonderful and uplifting to notice, like trees I love. And I use the white SUVs because that was things I would notice that would drive by that would work as a conduit to remind me to look at all of the trees and the gorgeousness. It was amazing. I feel that white SUVs must be the number one car in this country because that's all I seem to be seeing. It was wonderful. So I want you to see that in terms of abundance and beauty and magic out there. One or two little things. It's amazing. Couples holding hands, laughing, people flirting, anything fun, puppies playing. And also writing things down, because by writing things down we want to manifest, we're giving that selective desire and the selective attention through that filter instead of our brain just wandering and trying to keep us safe or pull everything in and be distracted, right? We want selective desire. And within that, they were talking about value tagging. So that means as our thoughts are going through our selective desires, we add a value to something. So if we put our hand on our head. Does our head want this? We put our hand on our heart. Does our heart want this? We put our hand on our stomach. Does my gut and intuition want this? And if it doesn't, and we're not all in, why would we begin a process? Why would we go somewhere? Why would we meet up with somebody? Why would we start an adventure if we weren't all in? So let's value tag these things and write down the things that are all three yeses: head, heart, and soul. Because certain things are logic and certain things are emotional, right? Logically, we would want to go here because we could learn something, right? But emotionally, does that intrigue us? That sort of thing. And I just love this because within this whole concept, it raises awareness, as we're out there value tagging and watching things. And I love just starting with white SUVs and beautiful trees because they are everywhere. And every time I saw one, it was like I was winning some kind of game, and it was lifting me up even more, noticing, hey, I can notice, if I can notice this while I'm sort of driving or walking, I can notice all the beauty and the magic that lifts me up. So it raises awareness, it focuses our attention, then we have deliberate action towards that, and then we also hold ourselves accountable. Like, if not now, then when? If we really want to raise awareness of these things around that we want, and we focus our attention on them, why can't we take deliberate action? If we see somebody that is riding a bike and they look fit and happy and they're smiling and they're enjoying this beautiful environment, why can't we take deliberate action to go ride our bike or to start to save for that? It's also the premise that if we wanted to have a baby, we wouldn't just be like, I have to go find a partner. No, we might start by taking daily vitamins and things that prepare our body for it, right? The first step, that's what we have to recognize. And then holding ourselves accountable is, why aren't I doing this? Why aren't I taking even the tiniest micro step towards this? What is the resistance, right? Again, head, heart, and stomach. What is the resistance? And to reevaluate and say, I am capable of this, I do deserve this. And something else that they talked about that I loved was make a little list of yourself. We'll make a list of a partner that we want and the attributes that we want, but sometimes we forget to make the list of our beautiful attributes, because oftentimes that's what we should be looking for in a partner, because it looks like us and our values that we hold as well. So I'd like you to just write down in your phone or anything 5 things that you really like about yourself. Again, that's like value tagging things that have value in ourselves, because oftentimes as we notice more and more value and worth in ourselves, we do not put up with bad behavior. We do not underscore what we deserve. We know we deserve more. We know we deserve that fantastic person. Because look at these 5 attributes that you're going to turn into 8, that you're going to turn into 10. So I was just thinking a few of mine yesterday. I am a really good listener. I really care about people. I am patient and I am understanding. I am multifaceted in weird and unique ways when it comes to being able to understand things. And something else is I am a constant learner. I love to learn new things about people, about places, all of that. And just by doing that, I was like, well, I also want to continue these. I want to continue these things that have value in my life, that add value to other people's lives, because I have these attributes in my family. So do that for yourself and watch how you will not put up with certain behaviors, words, dismissal, and things like that when you start to value yourself. And also, if you go on a date or you're with somebody and you feel dismissed or you feel undervalued, how you will hold that boundary and stand up for yourself, because you're reminding yourself, I do have this. I do have a sense of humor. I do have intelligence. I do have emotional intelligence. I do have sensitivity and feelings, things of that nature, which is all of this. The blueprint is within you. Take the next step, right? Raise that awareness, focus that attention, take that deliberate action, and have that accountability. And this is so important. This helped me. We are nature, becoming grounded embodiment, living in connection. When we live in connection with nature, something so wonderful happens. All the loudness, all the pressure stops for me. When I go into the nature center, I hear the grass. It's also about being present with it. I hear the grass swaying in the trees. I see the greens and the blues and the browns and all of the beautiful emerald colors of the different trees. And I smell, what's the flower smell? What is the the fragrance that is coming. I touch the grasses and all the little things that are around me. I feel it. I take off my shoes and I walk in it. Using your five senses, what do you see? What do you hear? And taste. In the air, oftentimes there's salt in the taste near oceans and things like that. Just become the embodiment of that. So again, you guys, if you want to look into some further things about this beautiful magnetic desire and manifesting, if you go on Mel Robbins' podcast about 2 months ago, she has wonderful neuroscience on there, and it is wonderful. And then you can also get her name and her other things. She is splendid at explaining things simply, briefly, and very, very like instant use style. You know what I mean? You kind of take it on board, and it's wonderful. And she has steps you take and all of this stuff. It was marvelous. It was just one of those things I knew the universe wanted me to learn and translate, because oftentimes what helps us is we break it down into how we can interpret it and use those skill sets. And I just thought it was wonderful. I got so excited to make this video for all of you as soon as I heard that. Remember the term to magnetic desire, your long-term wish and desire. Bring it up every day to your consciousness. Write things down about it. What steps am I taking? Raise awareness. And remember, find those white SUVs and those beautiful trees. Keep your brain busy looking for gorgeous things and see how it'll find it for you. It's amazing. Nature really helps with that too, for sure. Nature helps you. So my beauties, that is what you were meant to hear today, right on 11/11 for sure. Have a great day.